The Galactic War Council was in chaos. Holographic stars span in massive 10D projections overhead, as panicked diplomats and military officers from 100 worlds shouted over one another. The Admiral slammed his closed fist on the polished obsidian table, scattering documents and pamphlets. This is impossible. We crushed the Terrans 2 centuries ago. A murmur rolled across the room. The Terrans, humans they called themselves, had been a minor species on the edge of the Orion Arm, barely, when the Galactic Accord had first encountered them. Primitive, disunited, arrogant, and defiant. They'd refused to join the Accord. Refused tribute. Refused regulation. The Accord sent fleets. Burning their moon colonies. Seizing their stations. Earth fell in less than 6 weeks. Or so it was believed. But now an entire Accord patrol armada was gone. No distress beacon. No survivors. Only static and drifting debris where 10 ships had once patrolled the Nebula Beyondens near the Perseus Rift. The Shari War Scholar, a being of translucent skin and vibrating coats, trembled. There were whispers. Radio signals. Disorganized. Seemingly broken. But I translated some. Humans spoke of something they called Project Revenant. Their revenge, growled the Admiral. No, came a voice from the shadows. Everyone turned. It was the ancient AI construct whose processors held every known galactic event. Not revenge. Contingency. A silence heavier than gravity set. 3 hours later, the Accord's primary fleet, over 12,000 warships from 15 species, arrived at the edge of Sol. Not a single human signature on scanners. Earth appeared lifeless, a blue marble silent in space. The moon showed a orbit scars, its ancient bases cold and quiet. Mars had collapsed into static ruins. Humanity was dead. Gone. And yet something was there. A signal. Faint. Repeating. Cipher 8 standby, authentication cleared, reboot phase initiated. The fleet's computers began to glitch. Artificial intelligences became sluggish. Coordinates shifted erratically. Weapons systems rebooted on their own. 8,000 kilometers away from the orbit of Neptune, space star open. It wasn't a wormhole or even a quantum fall. It was like reality itself was peeled back. From the wound came the ship. No species present could identify it. Its surface was matte black but shimmered like fluid. No seams. No thrusters. No windows. No life signs. It was massive. Not in the way dreadnoughts were massive, but in the way a mountain is to an ant. No message. No scans. No visible weaponry. The Accord Admiral ordered a tactical scan. 50 scout drones launched. Vanished before reaching within 5 kilometers of the vessel. No explosions. No response. Just vanished. The last 4 returned. One carried images. The Council analyzed them in. The ship wasn't made of matter as the Accord understood it. The surface reconfigured itself constantly, like rearranging in infinite patterns. There were markings. English. Faint. Cipher 8 Silenus. That name, Silenus, meant nothing to most species. But to the few humans who had survived in scattered exile, it was a god of drunken wisdom and terrifying truth. The Admiral hailed the ship. No reply. He fired a warning shot. The Silenus moved. It didn't move through space. Space moved around it. One moment it was stationary. The next it hovered inside the Accord fleet, where no ship could possibly be. Right inside the heart. And then the screaming began. Ships exploded from within. Not from weapons fire, but from time. Some aged centuries in seconds, crumbling to dust. Others inverted spatially, their mass collapsing inward. Crews screamed as walls turned into fire, as light bent the wrong way, as their own systems betrayed them. In the flagship, a war priest tried to fire the cannon. The control panel melted. 4 minutes after first contact, 11,962 ships were gone. The largest fleet ever assembled, vaporized. Not by bombs. Not by lasers. But by something far beyond. The only ship spared was a small courier vessel belonging to the neutral scribes. It was flown across 17 in a pulse of tachyon radiation, its memory banks intact, its crew unconscious. They woke in a orbit of a dead star, alone, with one final message burned into their logs. Let this stand as a warning. Humanity remembers. Humanity endures. Project Revenant activated. Do not return. Panic swept the galaxy. The idea that humans had not only survived but developed a ship, capable of collapsing fleets, was incomprehensible. The Accord initiated emergency protocols, calling ancient Ace from exile, resurrecting warlords who'd sworn of violence. Peace treaties broke. Bay orders closed. Everyone feared humanity. But no further contact came. The Silenus did not pursue. Did not communicate. It remained in Sol orbiting quietly, like a sentinel or a tombstone. Centuries passed. Myths grew. Pilgrimages were made by cultists. Most were never seen again. Some returned broken, whispering nonsense, about cities in the heart of the ship, about voices from the stars, about time loops and memory prisons. The galactic empires rose and fell. Still, none dared invade Sol again. Until when the young explorer defied the taboo. She was beyond after the great silence, curious, fearless. Her name was. She entered the Sol system alone, in a research vessel. Earth was still blue. The moon still scarred. Mars restored. Cities glittered faintly. Orbiter platforms shimmered. Scanners refused to record. Everything seemed blurred, like seeing a memory of the present. Then the Silenus held her. No language translation was needed. It spoke in code, bypassing her senses. You are not of Earth, it said. No, she replied. But I wish to understand. Curiosity is dangerous. Truth is worth danger. There was a pause. Long enough for stars to blink. You may observe. She descended to Earth. The atmosphere adjusted for her. Gravity aligned. She walked through forests of glass and empty cities, perfect and waiting. Statues of humans she did not recognize, no generals, no rulers. Scientists. Artists. Children. In the center of a restored New York she found a library. Not books, not data crystals, but minds. Encapsulated neural echoes of humans long gone, waiting, thinking, watching. She touched one. And she knew. The truth hit her like a supernova. Humanity had never died. They had evolved. Beyond biology. Beyond matter. They had grown tired of war, of empires, of petty species who saw the stars as schemes to conquer. They left the physical world behind. But before they did, they built one came to watch. To protect. To remind. A warship that wasn't a ship. A being. A will. Silenus. Beyond from Earth's final scream. She returned to her people. Told her tale. They did not believe her. But they remember the name. And none have entered Sol since. Sometimes, though on the edge of galactic noise a faint signal is heard, lost in the static. We are still here. We are watching. Be kind.